Hey, First Light Outdoors, Brian Skogen. Say I was telling my brother Noel that I was doing this European mount with a buck that I shot this year, and he said, well, you're taping it, aren't you? And I'm like, oh yeah, sure I am. So we'll have to backtrack a little bit, but what I've done up to now is I soaked this in hot water for probably about 8-9 hours, and when I say hot water, I mean simmering. You don't want to boil it, because boiling it'll soften the bone, and so just simmer, keep working the meat off, getting it cleaned out. You need to have a strong stomach. It smells really bad, really nasty, but got that part done. Then I soaked it in a detergent. I actually soaked it in borax for a little bit, then I soaked it in some Dawn dish soap just to make sure the grease is off, so when I do whiten it that it'll cover well. If you notice up behind me, I have one on the wall, and that one is plastic, and it kind of looks a little plasticky, and that's where I thought I wanted to do one for real, and this is a nice buck to do it with. So I've got the nose bone here. It's kind of got loose, and the tip zip stripped. I just tighten that up because while you're soaking it, it can expand and it'll open this crack up on the nose there and separate that. So just keep that together while it dries. Now it's dry, so I'll be able to cut that off. And I stopped and talked to my stylist at my beauty salon in town, and she gave me I picked up some peroxide that they use for bleaching hair. This is 45% peroxide, so it's pretty nasty stuff in my Aquafina bottle. So when I'm working with this, it's gloves, and got to be a little bit careful with it because it'll burn your skin. We're going to put a good coat of that on here and let it sit for a while, and hopefully it'll whiten up and look real nice when I get her done. So we'll come back to that in a little bit. Okay, we're back again. I'm kind of ready here to start the whitening process with my hair salon peroxide, but to thicken it up a little bit because it's pretty runny, I'm just going to add in some borax. Again, you want to be a little bit careful not to be getting this stuff on your skin. I was actually just telling Wes, my cameraman, that if I just walk off camera, the little splash got on me, and it does burn. So you want to just be careful with it. I got some chunks in there. And this is just to try to thicken it up, because it needs to sit on there for a while, and then we'll just kind of check it. And of course, I'm right in my garage in my basement looking for a decent brush, and I would like a 1-inch brush, but this is what I have, and being a hyper ADHD guy, we're just going to go with it. A normal person would probably just wait till tomorrow and go to town and get the brush he would like to use. Laid down some paper, so we're going to start brushing it. I've got some cotton balls, because I also thought if I soak the cotton balls, I can stuff them into places like the nose and the eye sockets just to keep them wet, and just so they stay wet. And the back I'm not too worried about. I of course would like to get the teeth here white and that kind of stuff. So we're just going to begin coating it. So what I've done here is I've got it coated pretty good, and it's sticking on there pretty well, and I've soaked cotton balls and stuffing them in the eye socket because I would like those to be nice and white. So I'm trying to do a good amount and just setting them in there with the wet side to the skull, of course, just to keep that wet so that peroxide can do its thing and get that. So once again, I'll have my awesome editor zing this into fast mode, but we're about done here. So handprints got a little bit of peroxide up on the antlers, and as you can see I taped the bottom parts of the antlers just to make sure, because I'm assuming just like it'll bleach the skull, it would bleach the antlers, so I want to make sure we don't do that. So I'm just giving it a wipe down to get any that I might have got on there off, so I don't have little white spots showing up. But otherwise it's pretty well coated, and I'm just going to let this sit on here now, and we'll check in after a while and clean it off, and hopefully it should be quite a bit whiter than when we started. That's my hope. So, you know, and what better way to, you know, just show off and display such a magnificent animal like this that we were blessed to harvest this year. So we'll be back in a few minutes and we'll wrap this up. Okay, we're back here. We've let it sit for probably about 2-3 hours, and it's, if you look, you can see it's actually getting quite a bit whiter just with that amount of time, and it's staying on there pretty good. It's pasted on well, so I'm going to let it sit here overnight, and we will check back tomorrow and wash it off and see what it looks like, and we should have a nice European mount to honor this buck with. Okay, First Light, we are back. We're on day 2. We let it sit for 24 hours, so it's now the afternoon of the next day, and it's obviously a lot whiter. So we're gonna run it upstairs and give it a good washing. Get these cotton balls out of there, and we'll give it a good scrub down, and we'll see what it looks like. So be right back. Alright, we got it all washed up, got all the peroxide goop off of it. I may actually put a zip strip back on here because it feels a little moist now to get that nose to close up and while it dries, and then I'm also going to, after that, put it in the sun, and that should finish bleaching it out for me. Let God do His work and get it taken care of. And if you notice, yes, the plastic mold is a lot whiter. Actually, I don't even know that it's that much whiter, but this one's got a little character to it, you know, a little color in the teeth, and you know, it's not uniform, and I think that adds to the attractiveness of it. It's just a beautiful, inexpensive way to do it versus a cape mount. Just a do-it-yourself project. Takes a couple days of work. Again, if you don't have a strong stomach, I don't think you'll take the smell. But outside of that, that was the only negative on the job. Otherwise, a really easy job and a really way to show off one of God's creatures. So, from First Light Outdoors, God bless.